Americans unemployed. But on this edition of the Jeff Crilley Show, we're going to talk about one area of the economy that is absolutely booming. It's IT staffing. We'll be talking to the president of BravoTECH next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, heads up, parents, if you have a young child who is into technology, gaming, computers, encourage that, feed that, because there is great opportunity and it's only getting more vibrant every single day. To talk about that, Andrew Jackson, he's the president of BravoTECH. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So IT, you really had some foresight because you started this company now 25 years ago, is that right?
Yes, exactly. In 2021, it'll be 25 years.
And at the time you started the company, this is the mid-90s, so you know the internet's just starting to take off.
Right, and I worked for another company in engineering staffing, and we started to get some IT opportunities, and I thought, what a great time to break away and try something different. So I got a business partner, and off we went.
Okay, IT staffing, it is absolutely on fire. In fact, you were just awarded a really nice honor, the DBJ Middle Market 50. We're going to show the page right there. Tell us about that award and what that means to you.
Well, we were really excited to win it. That was based on revenue 2017, 18, and 19, so it was a 3-year run. And appreciate the recognition, and our team worked really hard to grow a lot in that period of time.
Okay, you got to talk about the pandemic. Does the pandemic help you because now we have so many people working remotely?
So yes and no. At first, it hurt a lot. It hurt us as well as other companies and our customers as well. One of the things is just our area here, a lot of petrochemical business was already slowing down, then the pandemic hit, so it was a tough hit. But then what happened is companies started to come back, and they also realized that people were going to be working remote. They needed to have the technology to make them work remote, so that helped. And then people were using contractors more often because they weren't sure. A little bit of uncertainty, so they used temporary staff, temporary IT staff as they build back and kind of figure out where they're going to go.
And so those jobs in IT have got to be in demand right now because companies, CEOs that had never really thought about it are suddenly having to create a director of IT, right?
Yes, they usually call those the CIO, Chief Information Officer, yeah. And I think a lot of companies are realizing that they can push through applications to be a remote workforce, and that's helping IT in general.
Let's talk about cybersecurity because I think that's on top of everybody's mind these days. You know, I get dozens of emails. Even when I get an email from my bank, I worry, is this really my bank? What kind of needs does that create in the cyber staffing world?
Right. A lot. There's a lot of growth, and it's a hot area. It's actually super hot. You can't find enough good qualified people in the area. It's hard. What's happened is, if you think about it, people were contained within their building, within their office environment, so that the security team could watch their security closer, and now they're working remote, and they're maybe not paying attention as much as they might have when they were in the office. And so one of the worst things is clicking on that link from someone you don't know, and then all of a sudden you could be opening up a can of worms.
And some people are not aware of the salaries that some of these positions can command. A new college graduate with the right degree and right expertise, can they start out 6 figures?
Less than that usually, but yes, and they have the opportunity to get there very quickly, if not out of the box.
Okay, look into your crystal ball. What do you see for 2021?
So, remote workforce for sure. I think companies that they have to have a remote option. So there are a lot of workers that now they've had a taste of it and they don't want to go back into the office. So you've got to take and figure out what your workforce is going to be. So I think a lot of what I would suggest for companies to do is evaluate each position and say, can that position work remote or not? And if it can, allow it to be that way. You extend your reach a lot further when you have the remote capability. If you think about it, you could have your security person be logging in from Des Moines. All right. At the same time, you got to be careful. The remote also works two-way street. You've got to take care of your own employees, because now all of a sudden your DBA or one of your other IT guys might get a call from someone in New York, says, come work for us here. You can stay in Dallas. Right. But we'll pay you extra premium for working remote. So there's a lot of opportunity.
Let's talk about your business philosophy, because nobody stays in business as long as you have by cutting corners or putting a job candidate in a position where he or she may fail. Your goals, I would imagine, is let's not just get a warm body in there, but get the right person for this client of ours.
That's true. And it takes one, you've got to reach those people. So you got to have a lot of different outreach ways to connect with people. One of the things, you just think about it, is just get to know the person that you're talking to and ask them what they want to do. Make sure that they're doing what you don't want to say, here, I got a job, do it. And so there's a dialogue there. There's asking a lot of questions. The recruiting process takes a little longer, but you're going to get a better fit.
How does one know when they need a staffing company, and specifically an IT staffing company, and how does that differ from a regular staffing company?
Well, it just differs on your needs, So if you need people in clerical or accounting, you can reach them. IT staffing companies, our processes are more. The recruiters are more technical, so they can understand whether someone is trying to pull the wool over their eyes, whether they can actually do a job. The other thing that's real important for us is our team itself. Our recruiters, our account managers. We actually have a team we call the care team. So when we put people out on contract, they take care of them. They make sure that they're happy. Make sure they get their check, and if there's any problems with that, they take care of it. They have events, recognitions, awards, things like that. And then building our own team, it's important to make sure that they have rewards and incentives, and we've got great longevity with our team, which I'm proud of.
Well, I'm glad you brought up your team, because we have some pictures that we took off of Facebook. This is pre-COVID, so there's not social distancing or masks there, but company morale is very important to you, isn't it?
It is. It's extremely important.
And how do you protect that and nurture that?
So there's a lot of different ways, and that too is different with the COVID environment and with the remote workforce. We're 100% remote right now, and so we've got to think about the things that we used to do in person. The water cooler discussions, the walking down the whole thing, and how do you recreate those things in a virtual environment? And so we use Teams as a tool, but you can use other things, Zoom or whatever, to get people together, see pictures. Every call is a video call. That's the way we do. So you're touching people at a different level. We have a certain chat scenario set up so that people, if there's we have a good news line. So if something good happens and someone gets a success, they can share it with the team, and other members can, give a thumbs up or throw an emoji out there and things like that. So then we'll have virtual happy hours and organize things. One of the things we did, and this was early on, is we actually had a relaxation session where we had a person come on and just kind of, the bang the bell and everybody, and just meditation. But things like that to just, have the togetherness and also do it as best you can in a virtual environment. And the other thing that I will say, it's not 100%. When we first got into it, people said, wow, this is terrible. Then all of a sudden, it's great. Let's stay this way forever. And now it's kind of that, well, it works for some. It doesn't work for everybody, the virtual side of things. And then we just have to have a kind of a hybrid approach. So we'll do some things virtually and some things in person. And as we get a vaccine and things like that, the percentage of in-person will obviously increase.
And I think it forces bosses to be nimble and adapt. And you also gives you greater appreciation for your employees, because many of them are social creatures and they're used to hanging out at the water cooler, as you said, and now suddenly they're alone.
Yeah, and you think about that, and you think about your management layer, and how they manage has to change as well. And one of the things, I was talking with someone in my office the other day, a manager who used to be like a cheerleader, like rah, rah, rah all the time, might not work in a virtual thing where you actually have to be more of a coach and you have to help people in a new environment and deal with people a different way. And so we've realized that the management layer has to really adapt, as you said.
Wow, this has been fascinating. We're going to have you back again. And congratulations on your success.
Well, thank you very much.
You bet. We're going to put the website up so everybody can get in touch. Andrew Jackson, BravoTECH.com is the website. And congrats on the Middle Market 50 from the Dallas Business Journal.
On behalf of my team, thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's it for now. We'll see you next time.